I'm joined this week by Aleks, as usual, and comic book producer and publisher, Bov. We've got 5 new comics for you to check out, plus some great new music. This is what we call Direct Edition. Thanks so much for joining us. This week sees the release of the final part of the Doomwar mini-series. This is issue number 6, and we particularly enjoyed Doomwar as a mini-series.
It's been phenomenal. I think issues 3, 4 and 5 for me were the best issues, and I actually had to read this issue twice to make sure I kind of got where they were going with this. In the end, it turned out it was more of a battle of the brain rather than a battle of the brawn, which disappointed me until I actually reread it again and got the vibe.
Yeah, I like Doomwar. I haven't read the other ones, but this one was pretty good to jump in at the end.
Yeah.
See the end thing going on.
I think for me, what was cool about this, and what was clever about this, is that it did seem like it was kind of building towards a certain point, towards a big all-out battle between Doom and everyone else. And what was cool about it was that essentially kind of happened, but not in the way that you'd expect. And the resolution was quite unexpected, I thought.
I suppose as readers, we're always going to complain no matter what happens. So, I mean, it was nice maybe to see a different type of ending.
Yeah, an ending that has major repercussions for the Black Panther, for the nation of Wakanda, for the wider Marvel universe in general. We've really enjoyed it. If you haven't picked it up now, you'll probably have to grab the trade. But if you have been following it, you'll definitely want this. This is Doomwar, issue number 6, out this week. The hardcore action continues, courtesy of Garth Ennis's The Boys. This is just great fun if you've been following all the way through. I think it might be a bit tricky for someone who hasn't been following The Boys to jump in at the moment, because there's quite a lot of plot threads in the air at the moment.
It's got some revelations again.
Yep.
And, I mean, there's a lot of talking, there's a little bit of, EastEnders going on in there.
Bit of soap opera-esque, possibly.
But they always do that, they do that for a couple of issues and then bang, they smack somebody in the face.
It's just a beautifully executed perversion of the superhero books that you grew up with. It actually takes everything you thought you knew about superheroes, The Boys, and literally chucks it down the garbage disposal. It gets torn to shreds, and that putrid smelling mush that comes out the other end.
You're turning me on.
Is the book that you see before you right now.
Every time I think I know where this story's going, where this plot is going, there's another twist. I think this is leading up to a massive throwdown sooner or later, the way this is going. Whether it's going to happen in 5, 6 issues. If you're not reading this, go back, get the back issues, buy the reprints. This is fantastic. It's
a book that we really enjoy. Not one to share with your mum, however. The Boys, issue 45, out this week.
I know I've been gone a long time. I'm back and I want what is mine. I know I've been gone a long time. I'm back and I want what is mine.
Whilst we're on the subject of Marvel events, here's another one. This is issue number 2 of Shadowland.
Man, I loved it. I mean, Daredevil is going dark. He's going to kick some ass. But at the end of it, well, I'm not going to give it away. You have to read the last bits of it.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
I think what's really interesting about what they've done with this is that they've taken Matt Murdock to a really, really dark place. And, he's kind of gone there in front of all of his friends and all of his former associates amongst the heroing world. It's going to be a hell of a bit of writing that kind of brings him back from that place without you wanting to kind of tear up the comic book. Do you see what I mean? It's going to have to be beautifully done to kind of make him the same old school, heroic, moralistic hero that we've known in the past.
And I tell you what, I actually feel really sorry for the guy. If anyone's been following this, you know that there's maybe some kind of demon or possession power going on.
Yeah.
And he's basically got 10 heroes knocking on his door, either to help him. Spider-Man pops in, Moon Knight's there.
Luke Cage, Iron Fist, he's got Wilson Fisk kind of doing evil bits and pieces on side.
He's outnumbered. It's just him and a load of ninjas, you know, against some real powerhouses. And I tell you what, for Daredevil. I actually feel sorry for him. I
Listen,
want him to kick their asses.
On the flip side, you say that, it's just him and a load of ninjas. I wish I had a few ninja of my own.
Well, in real life.
How good
Don't mess with the ninjas.
how useful would a few ninja be in just sorting out bits and pieces?
Well,
Do you know
like
what I
doing
mean?
my laundry, doing the cleaning.
You know what
I mean,
you'd
very
ne-
useful.
You'd never have to queue for things if you had a crew of ninja wherever you went. He's not, totally without backup. It's just that he's got some very formidable people lining up against him.
That's it.
Yeah, true.
And even though this is quite a dark book, there are some moments of levity in it. Spider-Man is responsible for one that kind of sticks in the memory. And this has been, it's just a good fun kind of Marvel crossover. It's been really good fun so far. You should check it out if you get the chance. This is Shadowland issue number 2. Lots of other books we'd like to check out this week, including this, Deadpool 1000.
Irredeemable, issue 16.
The Shield, issue 3.
Shadowland Bullseye, one shot.
Red Robin, issue 15.
Secret Warriors, issue 18.
Ultimate Avengers 2, issue 6.
Avengers Prime, issue 2 of 5.
Brightest Day, issue 7.
Captain America, issue 608.
Crossed Family Values, issue 3.
The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 639.
Sweet Tooth, issue 12.
Super God, issue 4.
We previewed this a few weeks back and it's finally out. There it is, Marvel Universe versus The Punisher.
Brilliant. I think if there's any fans of The Punisher out there, they'll be pleased to know that Goran Padalov is doing the art on that.
Yep.
And I think he's a very good, tight artist.
Sure.
And really brings the character alive for me. It really reminds me of the Will Smith movie I Am Legend.
Sure.
With one man basically against the entire world. Now, the thing that really got me, and I'm a real massive fan of this in comics, is the internal dialogue of the character. Mm-hmm. And that, for me, has paced the book and explains why this is happening in the universe. A 10 out of 10 book for me.
You don't have to do much to impress me with Punisher, but this, it's like, it's got the zombie kind of thing going on where they're not zombies. But, yeah, and they've got some cliffhangers. What's going on in this? Like, at the end, the last page is like, what's going to happen next? Pick up the next issue. Love it.
Yep, so if you get a chance, highly recommended. This is Marvel Universe versus The Punisher, issue 1, out right now. We've been looking forward to this one for a little while. Here it is, Superman, Last Family of Krypton. And for me, I think this actually lives up to all of the hype and expectation.
It certainly does for me. I mean, as everyone knows if they follow the shows, I am not a Superman fan at all.
Sure.
But I've got to say, I've enjoyed Red Sun when that was out by Mark Miller, and this is equal to that. It is absolutely fascinating looking at the family structure and what would happen to a family of superpowered aliens that would come to Earth.
Yeah.
Where would they live? How would they live? What would they do? And how would they fit in?
The concept here is that what if Superman arrived not on his own to Earth, but with his mother and his father, Lara and Jor-El and Kal-El, all arrive at once. How does that actually change the dynamic?
This has got, all the characters are there, and you're like, what's going on? Where are they going to take it? There's maybe a little clue. They've got L on Earth on the cover. I'm not sure whether that's what they're planning to do with the series, but I'm looking forward to reading more of this because you don't know where it's going to go. Usually they have something and you know exactly which path they're going to take, but this one's new. I like it.
Check it out. Superman, Last Family of Krypton. It's out this week. That's pretty much all we've got time for this week. Another massive shout out to all of the people who've been following us on YouTube. Thank you so much for your comments, for your questions, for your suggestions. Keep them coming. And if you're feeling the show, be sure to let somebody know. We can't do this show without your continued support. So thanks so much for that. Thanks to Aleks as usual. And to Bov for joining us. It's really good to have you on the show. Thanks very much, mate. We'll be back next week with more new comic reviews, more new music. We call it Direct Edition, and we'd really love it if you were here with us then. Peace.